maybe some of us is not recognizing. So every year, marketers they will prioritize the marketing budgets to any channel that they can track to the click, right? So there's one channel that actually spends 9 out of 10 customer daily, and then they can deliver measurable lead, and then they can create days now it fully ready for the programmatize. So they're still missing something. We asking the top 15 outbound partner in the market and asking them what is your business projection in the next 4 years. So these numbers that we collect. First of all, they recognize that 97% of the outbound people gonna be digitized, which means less static people, more digital format like LED or LCD. Out of that, 49% of the screen gonna be enabled in the programmatic way, which is the automatized way of buying. However, we looking at the industry and the infrastructure is growing quite strong, but the projections outbound and spending is only around 8%. Maybe our attentions is not paying enough for this growing inventory and growing channel. So that to address the questions today, I'm welcome to the stage 3 of the experts from the industry. They are from the strategy, they are from the inventory, and they are from the technology who connect all of this together. And then welcome them on the stage to join the panel discussion today. Then, first one, I would like to welcome Jessica Linklander. She is the APAC Chair Solution Officer of WB Media. And then, I'm the Regional Director of Oriental Media. And then, Alex Lowe, Media Client Services. See the table. I just recommend that we are the only female partner in this discussion of today's sessions. So let's start first with, I would like to get a very quick survey with all of you. When your clients heard about outcome, what's come to their mind first? And what they should be thinking of instead? Maybe Jessica, I would like to ask you first.
So today, as it stands, majority of the marketers as well as their key partners are primarily thinking about out-of-home for branding purposes, be it reminding their brands with the consumers or perhaps some launch awareness. But where would we like them to move to or transition to
those people that are heading into the gym are going to be thinking about buying that soft drink that they see. But if you put that in a food court or a retail centre between 11 and 2, that brand is going to have a fundamentally different outcome. Phone's not very good, sorry. The brand's going to have a fundamentally different outcome, and that's the beauty of programmatic out of home, in that you can really be in the moments that matter, where your audiences are, and that's something that we really want people to be shifting towards.
Okay, so I think of three ideally perceptions about from branding, outdoor, and then fixed buying share points. So let's move one step further. Danica, when you say that out-of-home is only the perception of marketers is about the branding only, why do you say that it can be more integrated into the consumer journey today?
Before I respond to that question very specifically, let's all of us in this room take a moment to acknowledge what was happening decades with this medium, right? We would take traditionally out of home has been very static, right? So what would we do? We would take our decisions based on channel, we would take a decision based on location, and a lot of gut feel, judgment go into the process, right? Very little intelligence, very little data about what decisions we are making, right? And then we put this massive site up and hope for results with very little information on what happened thereafter, right? So this is what's happening for decades. Now, what has changed? There has been, in the last 5 years, a quiet revolution that has been taking place. And what therefore has changed? The very first element is this medium is today fueled by data. Immense amount of data signals are coming our way, either from identifiers, devices, signals, and all sorts of areas in which data is coming to us to make intelligent information at the stage of planning. And I think it's amazing in Vietnam with the kind of density of population that you have, as well as mobility that Vietnam's cities and towns have. This is an amazing advantage for us to have. So the power of data is one first thing. The second thing is it has become addressable. And that means once I have my audience, when I know very, very much more about my audience than I knew before, I can reach the right people at the right time, at the right location, with the right message. And that means it's addressable today like it never has been before. The third thing is it's accountable. You can, because of this data, get measurements done better, right? We have right from exposure measurement all the way to attribution, footfall that can be created from the back of this. And finally, and this is the part that I love the most, is this medium has become so personalized. It can give you personalization with creative messages, right? At the different locations, by audience, by time of day, day of the week, and even using weather data and other triggers, right? So because of all these factors, in my opinion, we today have so much intelligence from planning all the way to optimizing it and delivering results that this revolution has started to enable the decisions that we're taking. So therefore, it has the ability to play a role, not just for brand discovery, brand consideration, changing perceptions, changing behavior, and even perhaps nudging the consumer into the store, right? So I would like this to be resonated in this room that the role of out-of-home is no more in that box of branding. It has the capability to do many things in the entire journey.
So you say the data is like the fuel to enrich all the decisions that we make from the planning, activation, and then measurement. Absolutely. So data intelligence is the fundamental change of this game. But I would like to say the data needs the very technology to make it alive in scale. So at this point, I believe that our analysts, so I believe that when the technology comes to enable the data intelligence, this is where TBC because the trainers is having the brain to connect with consumers daily in the campaign. So how do you think the digital technology can enable what Rebecca just described?
Okay, so I'm going to echo a little bit of what Deepika has just said, because I think that we really need to have a bit of a step change when we are thinking about the technology that is starting to underpin out of home. So we're really seeing a shift from location-based and share of voice into how do we find our audiences and how do we use that for planning. So as we said, we will take behavioural data, retail data, location signals, time of day signals, and we'll use all of that data to get an idea of our audience. So if you come to us and you give us an audience, and we will have a look at what they have done over the last few weeks, we will map that against the screens that are available for your campaign. Throughout the campaign, we will optimise your campaign based on the propensity that we see to find your audiences against those screens. And that's really powerful when we're thinking about being relevant and in the right moment for our audiences. The second component to think about with this is that it's all done on platform. So gone are the days when you think about the chaos of spreadsheets and media planning. It's really easy to see the screen availability and then to manage your campaign through the platform. And the third component of this that I'll just bring up is that it's not just one channel that you could be thinking about. So something that we'll talk about later is how programmatic out of home is now really part of a broader wheel and ecosystem. It can be planned aligned with your OTT, with your audio, with your display, and so you're really thinking about the broader channel campaign and then optimising your campaign, and digital out of home really being a core component of that you are starting to understand on a much deeper level than you have before. So it's a really exciting space to be in as technology continues to develop and advance in this space.
Thank you, Alice. So we have over here, we got the smarter data, we got the smarter activation, and we're missing one important element to let it all happen, inventory, right? So from the inventory part, we from the publisher part, VPN, how do you think your work is saying our part is our job? How can you let us know how the ecosystem has evolved and established in the last few years in Vietnam?
Thank you. So when it comes to overlay, it's no longer having the take spot that you can run PPT 24/7 anymore. So now it's called like a pool compact, which means like it ability to present to when you're talking about a campaign. So we build a case of marketing based on cookies and these right. And now we're watching problem. A little irony. Now, the more traditional, old school channel media becoming old is now becoming smartness. It's not that it's whether it's 29 degree or 34 degree Celsius. It can be, it's not that whether it is one. It's not that whether this room is full of the shopper that looking for grocery, or that could be the family that with the high concept of the health. Or that could be the shopper like the Gen Z that spend time in the last cycle. So that bringing in the moment that we can put in the message. We can no longer about the opt-in, opt-out cookies anymore. It's actually tapping with the real person, real moment, in the real location, which is already very high. So that comes in with the CCTV I mentioned, like the anymore about data, right? So when we were working about the net case of open web for mobile, PC, then it comes to our CCTV video things. Usually when it comes to brand suitability, we need to wait for the filter after fact test. But in the old work, so now it becoming as a mapping condition to start. Because the vendor right now become a pre-qualified location that verifying the environment, verifying the audience over there.
partner of the stakeholder, and then thanks to the effort of technology and AI. So we have smarter street, we have smarter activation, we have smarter data planning. So it's not like the new stage of our comes is quite green and bright, but allow me to be a little bit more practical. The capability of the channels and the reality of the markets sometimes is not aligned with each other. So in this point, I would like to ask two persons who working closely with the work on the ground, Alex and Anne. How do you think that Vietnam infrastructure on our part is ready for this transformation? Maybe Anne, you can go first.
I think that everything comes with a paper and a picture. That's done. But the infrastructure or the legal things that we are facing right now is actually not slowing down the oil. I think that it's pushing us moving toward the indoor. So because of the legal that we are facing, whether it could be related to licensing, zoning, or like structural uncertainty that we're talking about, it forcing the industry of oil to move it. That means bringing us more on the indoor street. And we're talking about that person spending a lot of time watching or no longer like just a few seconds private pasta. Yeah. So that also supporting transforming in total. The street right now in Vietnam, they are quite fragmented. Diversified street that right now they actually come in silence, but they now can get it plugged, which means we can have the data tech connector, and then the streets are live, and the data streaming into the platform. It's no longer about cookies, it's the optimizing tool that we can talk about. So that infrastructure bringing new potential.
Okay, so it seems that the inventory is now on public and connected. So from this stage, Alex, how do we get enabled, empower all the inventory to become more powerful for marketing?
I definitely think, and I think what we're seeing is that we are at the beginning of a lot of growth out of home. And I'm sure many people in this room are really familiar of the changes that we've seen in the TV ecosystem. And you can't hear this mic? Musical mics? Can you hear this one better? Okay, I'll start again. Okay, so what I was saying is that many people in this room will be really familiar with the changes that we see in the TV ecosystem, from TV and the digitization, OTT and CTV. And I think many of us believe that, I think it's better on this one. Third time's a charm. Wow. Okay, I think we really see that the digital out of home is really going to start gaining a lot of momentum over the next year. While streets at the moment exist primarily within retail areas, we are seeing them come online, and we really hope that that will continue to increase momentum and opportunity for clients this year. Is that microphone better? It's better. Okay.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Kian. I know that actually Vietnam is now ready for the new stage, new evolutions of our part. Now, the next question may come to the mind of every CMO sitting here is that what should I start doing when I'm thinking about our in my marketing strategy? And in this point, I would ask your opinions at the BBB Media, how you give examples to our brand.
Firstly, I think, firstly, how do we integrate out of home into the total plan? I think, firstly, Vietnam is an exciting inflection point on this year. And just hearing my fellow panelists, firstly, giving us a great situation update on the infrastructure and the momentum of the infrastructure in Vietnam. Really, really encouraging. Technology is there for us to connect to that inventory and connect the audience to that inventory. That too is really, really encouraging. But the key really to make all of this come together is the level of penetration for digitally enabled screens. But till we get to that point, we are going to have to live with static, digital, programmatically enabled all at the same time. So my first advice to the brands, the marketers, the agencies in the room is to look at this in a total integrated way, right? Plan for out of home in a holistic way. Put them in silos, don't segregate them. Look at it in totality. Because your consumer outside there is looking at it in totality. He or she just sees the brand as an exposure, but you don't plan it in silos. Right? So to be able to get that data signals together is the first important thing. And that's the framework that we have developed in WPP. The second is let the data speak for itself. Right? That means to put all the data into technology that allows us to do audience first thinking and not panel first thinking, because that's totally against the principles of where we are taking this medium to. That would be the second advice. I think Alex also mentioned that quite a few times. It is about thinking audience first, people first, and not panel first. The third thing I would say is to ensure that you are giving respect to the creative. Do not take the creative that you develop for your other channels and slap it on this medium. This medium is not going to work with that. And like I mentioned before, if it's addressable, you have the ability to personalize the creative. You have the ability to make it more dynamic, right? Listen to other signals and allow for it better relevance. That is the other one. And then the most important one would be to have for accountability, which means measurement. All the things you could never do before. So putting all of this together today into a tool, into an intelligent planning framework, we're in a position today to plan for it in a total way and integrate it into cross-channel ways. That we work a lot with traders in the other Southeast Asian markets is to connect out of home with other channels. Using one single identifier, we are in a position to give you attribution per channel towards business outcome. So I think that's the fundamental, new philosophy and approach I would recommend.
When you say that treating outcome as one comprehensive framework, and then reusing the data intelligence, reusing the creative, and using the measurements to prove and to show how the outcome can deliver the outcome, the business outcome, not only about the media outcome. But at this point, I heard that you emphasize so many times on accountability. I believe that outcome measurements, which is only based on the report, based on the photo capturing, based on some kind of estimations, which is not the accurate skill of outcome, accountability, how to prove the return of investment of these media channels. So I would like to get all of your three opinions about this point, very important point that every single gonna say, please do it work. After I putting the money on our channel, how I can prove it is bringing some value to my brand. Debbie, you first?
I'm smiling a little bit because I remember the days when we would put up the site and then I would go and take a photograph and give it to my client and say, there we go, this is done. That's pretty much all we could do, you know. So as you rightly mentioned, it is an Acme's field. It has been an Acme's field for us. But a lot of that has changed, right? As we all are talking about, that is all happening because of the power of data. Now, what can we measure? First of all, the measurement on exposure. It's become much more richer. It's not just about spots or number of impressions, but it's really about the exact amount, number of audience, reach, frequency, quality of audience, the kind of behavior of the audience, movement patterns of the audience, and go back and report. So that's definitely a very big part of measurement. The second thing would be incrementality, right? Measuring brand impact using incrementality studies, such as test and control, studies where you're able to look at exposure versus non-exposure in that. Then comes a very important one, which is footfall attribution, right? You can actually, with the QSR brands as well as telco brands. And finally, I would say best part of measurement is creative intelligence. Looking at different creatives across different locations, places, audiences, and measuring. Don't think it works, you can remove it. Dynamically, you can change that because measurement is keeping on giving you the power to be agile in your market. And that's one area of measurement that I would say.
So maybe next one is teaching the traders, having every campaign, every data of the campaign as activation. So how do you think that the data staying on one platform can contribute to what Devika just said?
Yes, so earlier I was talking about how out of home or digital out of home can sit within a broader omni-channel media plan and you've got other channels sitting within it. And I think before when out of home was just a beautiful billboard, it would sit on the media plan and there was a vacuum of data. So you just know it was live, you take a screenshot, but you really wouldn't know much more. And now we have a really comprehensive view from all of the signals that we get from the campaign to far more deeply understand the attribution of programmatic out of home and its place within the consumer journey as well. So it's not just about putting it on the plan, it is what role is it actually going to deliver as part of your broader communication mix, in then which measurement opportunity best suits that, whether or not you're still looking at branding, whether or not you're actually having a look at sales in store and the footfall attribution is driving, but there's now a multitude of different opportunities to measure this channel as part of a broader mix. And again, that's what we're really excited about at the moment, those clients that are starting to test different ways of thinking about programmatic out of home as part of their broader communication mix.
Last one to the end. You may face more client challenge than any one of us when talking about the new model or new type of outcome measurements. How you feel? How you say that it's now more accountable?
With me, right? So, the traditional billboard usually screams your name across the really crowded store. The new one, the marketing giveaway, is gonna be delivered into personal really well. It means if the campaign right now comes to be bidding for 9 a.m. The create a screen in the lobby that we are having. It's not only polling the cookie, it's not only polling anywhere. It's actually polling for a profile of the audience that verifies in that store, which is a data. So it means like it came in on a upon the traditional that usually comes with report compliance track, and now it comes to the optimized data pool. So in this era, that's cool. And it's come to usually it comes with the decision of the CFO questioning where is that going. It's not only a spreading campaign over everywhere and then spread and hope that hope that the CFO comes. So I hope that to face the campaign of the online. So that has a lot in terms of cutting around 50% of the week. Suspicious whether it works. So I think when I talk to measurement, I think it has a huge reward compared to what happened when we're talking about economic.
So I believe that the measures from the panelists is quite clear that the outcome measurements is now more accountability, it's more powerful with all of the capabilities that we see in the market. So I will emphasize another statement that Rebecca just mentioned. Any marketer who start doing inspecting and collecting the intelligence right now, this can give is like a compounding advantage when the new state of the industry arrives. So to end, we openly the sessions with three perceptions: branding, status, outdoor, and then fixed buying. So right now, after the the discussion and the insight that you're sharing. What's your final key takeaway on the CMO's marketer of the year to start thinking what they should think about outcome after today?
There's one thing I'd like to leave the room with is a reminder to all of you here that out of home does not have a capability problem anymore. It is dealing with a perception problem, right? Let us here collectively in this room change that because it is transforming. The one thing that needs to transform is how we plan, how we buy, right? And that needs a massive mindset shift. You've got between us as an industry access to data, you've got access to infrastructure, and as a market in Vietnam, everything is transforming and evolving. Expand your mindset. Please think of creative very differently for this medium, and most importantly, think of audience first, not battle first.
To me, the takeaway could be let's not just pull up a poster when it comes to campaign. Let's build a connected customer journey. The old OOH that we have been used more or less a data like a location map board, but now the OOH is more like GPS. So it is rerouting you into where the audience actually is. So if the CEO, the next time CEO choosing you with some kind of billboard on the screen that you want talking about DOH, you have some data with you that's tapping in the lifestyle audience with all the backup of data and AI driven that helping you leveraging your campaign.
Very simply and very loudly now, I think it's really important to think about the data that is available to us and to go audience first, not location first.
We all say we all know and we converse that. Upon the Unmissable channel in your consumer journeys. I believe that your version is not missable on your marketing plan. It's no longer the version right now. The version is that are you using Upon as its full potential, as its full capability, and are you putting yourself in the test and learn area to be the pioneer in this market? That's the message that we want to highlight through the panel discussion. And again, thank you, Rebecca and Alex, joining me for the sessions today. Thank you.
Thank you to Ms. Nisha, thank you to our moderator, and thank you to our panelists. Please remain on the stage to receive flowers and a token of appreciation from the representative of MMA Vietnam. Please.